But let's just go to Moses, the classic, and run down his 5 reasons why he can't serve the Lord. And if you want to go into a long, in-depth study and examine your own life, work out those 5 reasons and think about your own life, your own reasons why whatever God is pulling you to, you've said, I can't, I won't, I don't know. Watch this. So he says, he comes to Moses, right? Famous story, burning bush. Probably the risen Christ in the bush, different thing. There's a person in the bush. He says, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I've come, and I've heard your cry. I've come down to deliver you. I've heard the cry and the oppression of my people, and I will show my wonders in all of Egypt, and you are my guy. Go to Pharaoh and say, let my people go. Moses is hiding as a fugitive from justice in a cave as he sees this burning bush, and he's like, what? And so these are he goes out, he's having this long conversation with the God who spoke the world into existence, and all Moses says for a long time, almost 2 chapters, is all the reasons why God can't be right about choosing me to do this. You must have the wrong guy. Exodus chapter 3. Number 1, Exodus chapter 3. What are we saying? The mission. What weight do we try to carry that is God's problem when he calls us to be a part of his mission to save the world? We all have roles in that in some ways. And all of those roles, because we walk in the miraculous power of Christ, can be very intimidating when we see it next to our own limitations. So you're not unlike Moses when he says, the first thing, Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and that I should bring the sons of Israel out of Egypt? Who am I? What am I? I'm not one of these guys. We do the same. Who am I? I don't have the education. I don't have the experience. I didn't grow up in church. I haven't been a believer that long. I don't know these things. I can't answer Bible questions. What do I know about marriage? Who am I? What do I know about kids? Who am I? Right? We know that one. Who am I? You know who you are? The person God picked for the job. That's who you are. The person God said, hey, I'm calling you. Get in the game. I want you to do this job. I can't. I know. I'll do the rest. I know you can't do it, but I want you to do it. And when your limitations stop, watch me show up. Who am I? Verse 13, number 2. So God answers it. Read it sometime. Verse 13. So he answers it. That should be enough. I got you, Moses. It's fine. I got it. It's not enough. Verse 13, Moses said to God, behold, I am going to the sons of Israel, and I will say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you. Now they may say to me, what's his name? What shall I say to them? Now, he's not actually asking really to find out that we can tell. He's trying to get out in larger context that we'll see. He's trying to get out of the job. Well, I don't even know your name. I mean, I know you just said you would perform miracles and compel Pharaoh. But man, what if they ask your name and I'm not able to tell them? Probably the wrong guy. What do we say? Some of the things I just said, well, I don't know if I know enough about this yet to do this. Welcome to the team. I don't know, what if someone asked me and I couldn't find the answer in the Bible? I guess you'd be motivated to learn more about the Bible then, wouldn't you? God probably help you anyway. You'd probably have things come to your mind. You'd probably have recollection of scripture that you've come across that you wouldn't even believe. Because that's where God steps in. Like, welcome to the team. Who am I? What if they ask me something about God? I don't know. He says, okay, Moses, I'll tell you my name. You tell him I am. How's that? Are you ready to go? No. Objection 3, chapter 4, verse 1. Moses said, what if they will not believe me or listen to what I say? For they may say the Lord has not appeared to you. I don't believe in your God. Well, that will happen. That doesn't take away the fact. We're not there to be the most convincing person in the world. We're not there for our personal success. We don't serve to go tell people what we accomplish. We show up to the game because God called us to, because we are walking in obedience to him. Whether people accept or reject the message that we have brought, if it is the true message, makes no difference. They stand accountable to the truth because you were faithful. Well, what if they don't believe me? We say the same thing. I don't know if people would listen. Still not enough. Fourth objection, chapter 4, verse 10. Moses said to the Lord, please, Lord, I've never been eloquent, neither recently nor in time past. That's so funny to me. I've laughed about this for years. Nor since you have spoken to your servant, for I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. He gives 3 time frames where he has not improved in his ability to speak words. You look at what he says. I'm kind of derailing here, but the Bible's so fun. Let's just have fun, right? Moses said to the Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither recently nor in time past, nor since you have spoken to your servant. I know that, I don't know, maybe you were watching me a long time ago when I didn't speak really well. I haven't gotten any better even in recent times. I have no speech pathologist that meets with me on a regular basis. I'm just as bad. In fact, maybe worse. Even since you showed up, though I recognize you are powerful and miraculous, even being in your presence hasn't made me any better since you spoke to me. Just now in this conversation, you can see how bad I am. So his objections are getting they get more and more ridiculous the whole way. That's what we do. Like at the end, you just sound ridiculous. Like there's no good reason why we can't answer the Lord and say, here I am, Lord. Like Isaiah, send me. Do the things I don't talk very good. Then he finally just says it. Verse 13. Please, Lord, send the message by whomever you will, meaning someone else. Just because then we see God gets mad and basically says, it's you, I'm going to help you, go, and he goes. 5 times, he finally just comes and admits to himself, I don't really want to do this. I hear what you say. Who am I? What is your name? What if they don't listen? I can't talk very well. Listen, can you just ask someone else to do this? Because I'm just scared to death and don't want to do it. Every one of those, God, if you read through it sometime, God answers Moses with, what you're worried about is my part. Now, here's something interesting. He could have made Moses' speech better. He didn't. Like you're talking about, like play the story out, right? Look at all the things we saw from God through Moses in history, biblical history. He saw the snake saw the staff turn to his brother's staff, turn to a serpent. Then he picks it up, which is horrifying, and it turned back to a staff. Well, then the satanic magicians come and have 2. Then he drops it, turns back into a serpent, and eats those 2. And then he picks it up, and there's 1 staff, which that's not enough. I don't know what is. Then he puts his hand in, and there's leprosy. And then he puts his hand in again, pulls it out, and his skin is clean again. Never mind the presence of the burning bush and the glory of Christ and take off your sandals, for the ground on which you stand is holy ground. Never mind the 10 plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, the pillar of cloud and fire, manna from heaven, meat from heaven, and Mount Sinai. You think along the way he could have fixed his speech, but he doesn't. He says, I will teach you what to say. When you speak, you will speak what I say. There are things that God could do that he doesn't do for us sometimes because he doesn't make you perfect, because that is his place to step in and say, that part, that's for me. You need to trust me there. I'm not fixing this in you. I'm not answering this. You need to carry this anxiety all the way to the cross and trust that I will bring you across the cavern of your own impossibility. That's my spot. If you're waiting to get over the reasons that you know you can't serve, you know you can't be a part of the mission, the day may never come where you are satisfied with your own qualifications, because God's going to one day come along and say, Peter, come out of the boat and actually walk on the water. I can't, and you'd be right. That's his spot to help you, make you miraculously his servant.